Many migrant workers arriving in Korea find themselves needing a place to stay within just a few days. But in many cases, work begins before they even have enough money to settle down properly.
Some end up renting a small studio apartment, while others move into a tiny room at the end of a Goshiwon hallway. Both options make life in Korea possible, but the way people survive inside them becomes very different.
For many migrant workers, finding housing becomes an urgent decision almost immediately after arriving in Korea. Work may already have started, but proper rest still feels far away. The problem is that neither option feels easy. A monthly rental starts draining money right away, while a Goshiwon slowly wears people down in different ways. In the end, most people feel forced to give up one thing first, either financial comfort or personal comfort. And many migrant workers end up making that decision before they even feel ready. The biggest advantage of a monthly rental room is having a private space once the door closes. Even after exhausting days, people can finally rest in silence behind their own door. For workers on night shifts, a quiet room can make a huge difference. Simply sleeping without waking up to someone else's alarm can completely change the next day. Voice calls also become easier, without worrying about disturbing other people. Some workers choose rental rooms mainly because they want to talk to their families comfortably. Being able to cook is another major difference. Many eventually return to simple homemade meals, just to reduce food expenses. Having free access to a refrigerator and washing machine brings more stability than people expect. For some workers, even small things like that start to feel meaningful. Many foreigners also care deeply about having a window in the room. Just seeing sunlight during the day can make the space feel less suffocating. There's usually at least a little extra room for personal belongings. Even having space for items brought from home starts to feel important over time. But the problems often begin during the contract process itself. For newcomers, Korean housing contracts can feel confusing and intimidating. The deposit system shocks many foreigners as well. Large amounts of money are often required before moving in. Some people also struggle to rent, simply because they are foreigners. After spending all day searching for rooms again, some eventually start considering Goshiwons again. And rent is never the only expense. Utilities and maintenance fees quickly force people to rethink their monthly budget. Winter heating bills can feel especially overwhelming for first-time residents. Some end up sleeping in heavy clothes instead of turning the heat on for too long. Rental rooms are often located farther away from workplaces. After repeating 2-hour commutes every day, some workers return home with barely enough energy to shower and sleep. On overtime days, dinner sometimes becomes convenience store food, eaten right before bed. The room may feel quieter, but the days still disappear into work just as quickly. Living alone can feel comfortable, but it can also become lonely. Some workers spend entire days off without speaking to anyone. Workers living far away from their families often find themselves thinking more in quiet rooms. There are nights when thoughts about home make sleep difficult.
Furniture and household items also need to be purchased separately. For many people, settling in costs much more than expected.
Korea's recycling system can also feel unfamiliar to foreigners. Some workers end up learning trash disposal rules before fully learning the neighborhood itself.
Long contracts can make moving difficult later on. Even workers wanting to change jobs sometimes hesitate because of their housing contract.
Still, many people who experience a quiet rental room struggle to return to a Goshiwon afterward. Having a peaceful space to rest alone starts feeling more important than expected.
The biggest advantage of a Goshiwon is the low upfront cost. Many places allow people to move in immediately without a large deposit.
Being located close to workplaces is another major reason people choose them. A shorter commute alone can make daily life feel much easier.
For workers with early morning shifts, distance becomes extremely important. Some choose Goshiwons simply because it allows them a little more sleep.
Many Goshiwons also include electricity, water, and internet in the monthly fee. For workers trying to manage expenses carefully, that simplicity matters.
Some places even provide rice or kimchi for free. Many migrant workers specifically search for these places to reduce food costs.
Being able to eat quickly and rest immediately after night shifts is another advantage. After long shifts, some workers simply eat quickly and go straight back to sleep.
Short-term living is also much easier in a Goshiwon. Workers who change factories often tend to prefer them. Many foreigners choose Goshiwons as their first step after arriving in Korea. The plan is often to start there first, save money, and move somewhere better later. But most Goshiwon rooms are extremely small. Sometimes a single suitcase is enough to make the room feel full. Rooms without windows are also common. After a few days, some people say they begin losing track of day and night. The voice is a major source of stress. In windowless rooms, the air itself can feel trapped all day long. Noise problems are also frequently mentioned. Some workers regularly wake up because of alarms or conversations from neighboring rooms. Since everyone works different schedules, sleep patterns constantly clash. One person may be getting ready for work, while another is finally trying to sleep. Shared bathrooms and kitchens can also become uncomfortable. During busy hours, the common spaces often become crowded very quickly. There are nights when multiple languages echo through the hallway at the same time. For some people, those sounds make the place feel slightly less lonely. Even using the washing machine can become difficult on busy days. After late shifts, some workers simply give up and decide to rest instead. Some Goshiwons also look very different from their online photos. Workers who sign contracts too quickly sometimes feel shocked by the actual room size. That is why many people say a Goshiwon is impossible to judge before seeing it in person. The condition of each room can vary dramatically. At the same time, some workers say they actually feel less isolated there. People naturally run into each other in the hallways and shared kitchens. Over time, migrant workers often begin sharing information with each other naturally. From factory recommendations to cheap grocery stores, some people eventually see the Goshiwon as more than just a place to sleep. Korea's deposit-based housing system feels unfamiliar to many foreigners at first. Because of that, Goshiwons often become the most realistic starting option. Long commuting hours are also common in many parts of Korea, making distance from work extremely important. For some workers, checking the commute time matters more than checking the room size itself. The Goshiwon system is also a uniquely Korean form of housing culture. Despite the cramped conditions, many migrant workers begin their first life in Korea there because it allows them to settle quickly. In the end, rental rooms provide more peace, but place heavier pressure on finances, while Goshiwons save money, but slowly wear people down, little by little. Some workers worry about their bank account, while others worry about how long their body can keep going. Eventually, every room takes something away, and many migrant workers in Korea end up choosing not the most comfortable place, but the place they believe they can survive the longest in.